Good afternoon and welcome to this council meeting for the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich for August 12th, 2026. It is 4 p.m. and I'll call this meeting to order. Randy, please.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich opens at 4 p.m. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, and at this time, Councillor Greifeld will give our land acknowledgement.
We will begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the First Nations people who have long-standing relationships to the land, water, and region of southwestern Ontario. We also acknowledge that the lower Thames River watershed communities, which include Chippewas of the Thames First Nation, Oneida Nation of the Thames, Munsee Delaware Nation, and Delaware Nation of Moravian Town. We value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and of all the original peoples of Turtle Island, North America. We are thankful for the opportunity to live, learn, and share with mutual respect and appreciation.
Thank you for that. I would remind council of any declaration of pecuniary interest. Seeing none. The draft minutes from July 15, 2026 were included in the agenda package. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, the minutes will be adopted as presented to council in the agenda. Clerk Randy, are there any items not listed on the agenda?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. We're going into a planning issue, and it's a committee of adjustment. Randy, if you would take us there, please.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drouillard, that the regular meeting end to sit as a committee of adjustment hearing to hear application file MV0226 filed by Nicole McDowell on behalf of Mike Hillman, and that the committee of adjustment opens at 4:02 p.m. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, thank you. And we do have planning with us. I will call this committee of adjustment hearing to order. The minutes of the previous hearing for 189 Curry Road are approved as presented. This application for a minor variance pursuant to section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, as amended, is required for the following reasons. To request relief of section 4.2, accessory uses, buildings and structures to permit. Relief to construct a detached garage closer to the exterior lot line than the main building. Relief to construct a detached garage within the exterior side yard. Does any member of council have a disclosure of interest concerning the proposals? Seeing none. Randy, what method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
A sign was posted on the subject property prior to the July 23rd, 2026 deadline, and notices were mailed to property owners within 60 meters of the subject property prior to the July 23rd, 2026 deadline.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will call on Sophia Laporte from Elgin Planning to give you a report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the committee, minor variance application MV02-26 is for the property municipally known as 275 Miller Road, legally known as Concession A Part 12. It is planning staff's opinion that the Committee of Adjustment grant the requested minor variance to obtain relief from two provisions under Section 4.2 accessory uses, buildings, and structure requirements of zoning bylaw 2022-50 as amended. 4.2b, no accessory building or use shall be built closer to the front or exterior lot line than the minimum distance required by this bylaw for the main building on the lot. And 4.2c, no accessory building or use shall be located in the front yard or exterior side yard in the case of a corner lot. In regards to the interim control bylaw, please note that this application is for the approval of the construction of an accessory building only. The applicant confirmed with staff that the proposed will be used as a detached garage only, with nothing proposed that would add to the overall servicing capacity. Should this change, the applicant is to apply for an exemption to the interim control bylaw and/or apply for any future additional planning applications that may be required at the time of formal submission. The subject property is approximately 1,325 square meters in area. The lands are designated residential on Schedule D of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich official plan and zoned Village Residential 1 on Schedule B, map number 2 of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich zoning bylaw 2022-50. The property is currently occupied by a single detached dwelling, an existing uncovered deck, an above-ground pool, and an existing shed which is to be removed. The property is serviced by public water and sewage systems. The lands are surrounded by residential uses. The proposed location of the detached garage off Strathcona Street is preferred, as placement deeper into the rear yard would remove existing backyard space and impede on the pool. Notice of the public hearing was provided in accordance with the Planning Act. Property owners within 60 meters were notified. Applicable agencies were circulated. Signage was posted on the property, and information was made available on the municipality's website. At the time of this meeting, the only comment and/or concern received was from Dutton staff regarding parking limitations in the driveway of the proposed detached garage. Due to the shortened depth, a standard length vehicle would be within the municipal road allowance when parked, therefore should not be permitted. This is not a concern, as there is an additional existing driveway off Miller Road that has substantial space for multiple vehicles. The application has been reviewed in the context of the Provincial Planning Statement 2024, the Elgin County Official Plan, and the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich Official Plan and Zoning Bylaw. These policy documents encourage development within settlement areas, making efficient use of existing land and infrastructure, while ensuring logical, orderly, and compatible patterns of land use. Under the Planning Act, the committee must be satisfied that the application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance. With respect to the first test, maintaining the general intent and purpose of the official plan, the subject lands are located within the Dutton settlement area and are designated residential on Schedule D Land Use Plan in the Dutton Dunwich official plan. The official plan encourages appropriate development within the designated settlement areas. The proposal represents appropriate development of residential areas and makes efficient use of the subject lands, maintaining the general intent and purpose of the official plan. Regarding the second test, maintaining the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, the Village Residential 1 permits accessory structures subject to regulations. Although the bylaw does not permit accessory structures within the exterior side yard and located nearer to the main building than to the exterior lot line, the proposed location makes efficient use of the available lands without impeding into the pool and the backyard. Staff are satisfied that the general intent of the zoning bylaw is maintained. With respect to the third test, whether the variances are desirable for the appropriate development or use of the land, the property is located within a fully serviced settlement area intended to accommodate residential growth and infill, and structures that are accessory to such use. The proposed development is compatible with its land and the surrounding land uses, while maintaining the functionality of the existing dwelling. It is not expected to have adverse impacts on the road network or intersection, as the driveway leading to the proposed detached garage has historically functioned as parking for 275 Miller Road prior to the development application. Additionally, no impacts to the neighbor's property are anticipated, as their property has an existing shed and driveway parallel to the proposed along the same lot line. Staff consider the proposal to be appropriate and desirable for the land use. Finally, in considering whether the variance is minor in nature, it is important to assess potential impacts. The requested relief does not alter the existing land use, impact the nearby intersection, and is not anticipated to have adverse effects on the surrounding land uses. While the applicant will be unable to park a vehicle in the driveway at the proposed detached garage, the additional existing driveway off Miller Road provides sufficient parking. As such, the requested minor variance is considered minor in nature. Based on this analysis, staff recommend that the Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance MV02-26. I am open to any questions or concerns. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sophia, for that report. I will ask, is the owner present? And do you have anything to add at this time? I believe, Nicole, you represent Mike Hellman in this matter?
Yes, I'm here online. Sorry, I don't know why my camera is not working, but I am here acting as the agent on behalf of owner Mike Hillman.
Okay, any further comments, Nicole, at this time?
I don't have any.
Okay, thank you. Do the committee members have any questions on the planning report? Does the secretary treasurer have any comments from staff?
Yes, summarized in the planner's report.
Does the secretary treasurer have any written submissions on this application?
Yes, summarized in the planner's report.
Are there any persons present who were notified of this meeting and would like to comment on the application? Oh, okay. Okay. We will consider the decision of the committee.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Loveland, that the meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to hear minor variance application, application file MV 0226 filed by Nicole McDowell. Sorry, one moment, having technical difficulties. Okay, moved by Dryfoot, seconded by Pemberton, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report from the planner titled Application for Minor Variance MV 0226, 275 Miller Road, Nicole McDowell, dated August 12th, 2026 for information, and that the Committee of Adjustment of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich approves the minor variance application MV 0226 for the property located at 275 Miller Road in accordance with the decision sheet attached. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Please be advised that the last day for appealing this decision is September 1, 2026. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the committee in respect to this application, you must submit a written request to the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich Committee of Adjustment. If you are not the applicant, you should request a copy of the decision, since it may be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal by the applicant or another member of the public. Okay, the Committee of Adjustment meeting is now concluded.
Moved by Drulard, seconded by Loveland, that the meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to hear minor variance application file MV 0226 filed by Nicole McDowell on behalf of Mike Hillman closes at 4:12 p.m. and the regular council meeting reconvenes. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, that was easy. Okay, at this time, we have the 2025 Elgin OPP Detachment Annual Report. And with us today is Elgin OPP Detachment Commander Jeff McNorgan. We have Mayor Andrew Sloan, who is the chair of the board. And we also have our representative, Ida McCollum, here. I would ask, James, could you move up here? Yep. Just come on up. We have 3 chairs. Hi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Henson, Council, excuse me. As stated, I'm Andrew Sloan, and I'm pleased to be here today in my role as Chair of the Elgin OPP Detachment. I'm joined, as the Mayor said, with your representative Ida McCallum and our interim detachment commander, Jeff McMorgan. Inspector McMorgan began his policing career in 2008 and was assigned to the Elgin County Detachment, including time here in Dutton. Throughout his 14 years in Elgin County, he was a breath technician, background investigator, and crisis negotiator. He also held supervisory positions as a sergeant and staff sergeant. Prior to his return to Elgin County, Inspector McNorgan was the operations manager in Norfolk County and the unit commander at the Provincial Communications Centre in London. In addition to his current role as detachment commander in Elgin County, he is a critical incident commander where he is responsible for command and control of major situations and critical incidents. I'll pass the presentation over to Inspector McMorgan and thank you for the opportunity to present the good works that the OPP are doing in this and other Elgin municipalities. We will be happy to answer any questions from council after the inspector's presentation. Okay.
There's a PDF we can pull up.
Welcome, Mayor McMorgan. As we just get ready here, I'll hand it over to you.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for that introduction, Chair Sloan. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and members of council. I am pleased to present the Elgin County Detachment 2025 Detachment Board Annual Report. The 2025 report demonstrates that the Elgin County OPP remained focused on community safety, traffic enforcement, victim support, and community well-being while completing the final year of our 2023 to 2025 action plan. Overall, the detachment experienced a reduction in property crime, maintained strong crime clearance rates for violent offenses, strengthened victim services and mental health partnerships, and continued significant traffic enforcement efforts designed to reduce serious collisions and improve public safety. I am proud of the work undertaken by the detachment in 2025. Violent crime increased slightly in 2025, underscoring the importance of continued proactive enforcement, strong investigations, and victim-centered policing. Our members remain focused on investigative excellence, offender accountability, and timely victim support. Victim referrals and acceptance rates also increased in 2025, reflecting our continued efforts to connect victims with available services and supports. Property crime continued to decline in 2025. Significant reductions were seen in break-and-enters, theft over $5,000, and fraud occurrences. Focus patrols, crime analysis, enforcement by frontline officers, and support from specialized units continued to assist in prevention, deterrence, and investigative excellence of property-related offenses across Elgin County. We maintained our commitment to traffic safety in 2025 and continued to prioritize enforcement related to speeding, distracted driving, impaired driving, seatbelt compliance, and other high-risk driving behaviors. Traffic enforcement remained our priority throughout the year and will continue to drive our daily work. Fatal roadway incidents and persons killed remained the same in 2025. However, there were encouraging trends. No fatal collisions were attributed to alcohol or drug impairment. No fatal collisions were speed related. No marine fatalities and no off-road vehicle fatalities. These results suggest traffic enforcement and education efforts continue to positively influence road safety outcomes, although speeding and inattentive driving remain ongoing concerns. Based on concerns from community members and local traffic and crime trends, we continue to provide proactive patrols and high visibility policing throughout Elgin County. Community patrols remain an important part of our approach to reassurance, engagement, and deterrence in the communities we serve. We continue to strengthen our operational effectiveness through the use of technology. Elgin County is now utilizing body-worn cameras, in-car camera systems, and automated license plate recognition vehicles to support the collection of evidence, increase transparency, and enhance both public and officer safety. We work closely with our local municipal partners to help ensure public safety within our communities. This collaboration remains especially important and is demonstrated through joint initiatives such as ride programs in adjoining jurisdictions. Elgin County OPP remain committed to enforcement and education on our roadways and local waterways. I mentioned earlier there are no marine or off-road vehicle fatalities in 2025. This reinforces the importance of continued marine enforcement, boater education, and strong partnerships with agencies responsible for safety on the waterways and trails. We continue to support community well-being through partnerships and coordinated responses to individuals in crisis. We implemented a more robust mobile crisis response team, or MCERT, schedule with longer hours of coverage and increased capacity with our partner policing agencies. Our members remain committed to working with health and community service partners in support of de-escalation, referrals, and appropriate response to mental health-related calls for service. We continue to engage with community groups and organizations across Elgin County to build relationships and promote community safety and well-being. These efforts include outreach, education, and attendance at community events, while continuing to support positive relationships with diverse communities, youth, and seniors. These initiatives support public confidence, crime prevention, and relationship building throughout Elgin County. We supported the ongoing development of our members through training, operational learning, and continued professional development to ensure our detachment remains prepared to respond to evolving community needs and policing demands. The 2026 to 2029 Elgin County Detachment Action Plan has been released. This is the first action plan developed under the Community Safety and Policing Act. We work closely with our Elgin OPP Detachment Board and engaged with community members to ensure the needs of our communities were reflected in the commitments we made for the next 4 years. Development of the 2026 to 2029 Elgin County Detachment Action Plan coincided with the creation of the 2026 to 2029 OPP Strategic Plan, creating organizational alignment. As we look ahead to emerging challenges and new opportunities in policing and community safety, our detachment members remain committed to our mission to serve our communities, protect our citizens, uphold the law, and preserve public safety. I thank you for the opportunity to present the Detachment Board Annual Report.
Thank you for that report. Thank you for traveling to Dutton. And we had a brief chat, and you're very familiar with Dutton, which is great. I'll just open the floor to questions from council. Councilor Dreyfus?
Personally, I'd like to thank you for all you do in our community, because I think you've been the OPP has been noticed, and I think our community is recognizing that and responding to the needs of our community. And just to the comment of participating in the local our streets, I've seen officers walk our street of Dutton quiet, but it's pretty cool that there's visibility, and I think we appreciate that. So that's just my comment, and I just want to thank you for what you do for our community. So
thank you, Councillor, for that feedback. I can assure you I will remain committed to community outreach such as that. We focus patrols, including foot patrols, entering into businesses to put a face to the name of the officers that serve the various communities is extremely important to us, and that will continue. Thank you.
I have a question. When they reopened the station here in Dutton, which was closed for a number of years, we were all very excited and happy about that. Can you speak to the future of that building in Dutton?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the question. Although I don't know any specifics, I can tell you for the time being that building will remain open as a reporting location for officers. As mentioned earlier, I started my career in that building when it was a little bit more than a reporting location. We actually had admin staff, so members of the public could attend the building. It is not that way now. However, I am excited and thankful that they reopened it again. It allows for, as Councillor mentioned earlier, allows for increased foot patrol in the area, more expedient response to calls for service in Dutton Dunwich and West Elgin out this way too. So it was important that we had the ability to respond appropriately to calls for service and to be in the communities more rather than having to drive from St. Thomas.
Okay, thank you for that. We've got Councillor Drulard online. I don't want to forget about you. Are there any further questions or comments from council? I want to take this opportunity. I received an email this week, and our representative, Ida McCollum, is retiring. And I think it's been 10 years, Ida?
Something like that,
Yeah, I think my first term at council, you were nominated to that position. On behalf of the municipality, thank you for your service. I don't know how we're going to replace you, but
Well, I'm sure there's somebody that'll be very interested in adding some valuable information to help the police and the community.
you've done a great job for us. So
Wow.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
probably be reaching out to you from time to time for
That-
other things to
that's
get involved in.
Yep, not a problem. Thank you.
Okay, any further comments? Thanks for taking the time to visit with us. It's important.
Thank you very much.
Would love to know how you do you already have your nominators, your nominators and your seconders. That's pre-done.
Yep.
Is that on the computer?
No,
Well, we'd like to learn from you. We loved your speed bumps. Maybe we'll learn a little bit about how to do the second.
we hate long meetings. It speeds everything up.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, let me just get where I'm at here. Well, that's good to see them around in the community and officers living here, and it's terrific. Okay. Nothing on that. So we're on to our drainage issue. We have a request for major drain improvement. It was in your agenda package. Any comments or questions on that? Pretty straightforward. Go ahead, Randy.
Moved by Drewlard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the Drainage Act Section 78 1.1 request from George Drumelsmith to improve the McLandris drain, and that council decides to proceed and instructs the clerk to send the notification as required in Section 78.2 of the Drainage Act to the Lower Thames Valley Conservation Authority, and that the clerk notifies the requester of council's intention to proceed and appoint an engineer at a subsequent council meeting once notice is received from the Conservation Authority that they do not require an environmental appraisal, and the 30 days notice required in Section 78.2 has passed. All in favor? That's carried.
Thank you. I don't know whether it's that drain or not, but George had the biggest hole right at the end of his laneway this spring that a drain gave out. So it could be that one. Okay, on to correspondence. First, we have the town of the Blue Mountains municipal planning decisions. Anyone wish to speak to that? Not hearing anything. Randy, go ahead.
Okay. Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives and supports the resolution from the town of the Blue Mountains regarding enhanced deference to municipal planning decisions, and that a copy of this resolution be sent to Rob Flack, MPP, Andrew Lawton, MP, and the town of the Blue Mountains. All in favor? That's carried.
Item B, a proposal to establish the Dutton Twilight Market. And they are way out in front on this one because it's not till 2027. So anyone wish to comment on that? Henry, do you know anything about this one?
Yes, through you, Mayor, hence, Sonia had, approached me a couple of weeks ago, in Dutton and just asked the process to get something like this going. So I just shared with her how it would work, and I feel it's a good idea, and also there's a lot of time to plan and prepare. So when I first looked at the request, I thought it was for August of this year, and I thought, wow, that's pretty lofty, but but anyway, it's for 2027, which I think is lots of time to prepare if it's something council wishes to allow. So
Any other further comments? You have a resolution to that effect? Go ahead with that.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that council endorses the establishment of the Dutton Twilight Market as an annual community event, and that council directs staff to submit a temporary road closure request to the Elgin County Director of Engineering Services for the closure of Curry Road from Mary Street to Shackleton Street on Saturday, August 21st, 2027, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. All in favor? That's carried.
Thank you. Item C, Municipal Finance Officers Association, the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund. Any comments on that? Go ahead, James.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through the mayor and to council. just put together a few numbers here. As we know, in the last 5 years, they've doubled the OSIF contributions to municipalities, which is greatly appreciated by us and all the other member municipalities. On our end, that resulted in just over 1.5 million of funding, of which we've used just over $1 million of that for our wastewater treatment plant alone. Without this funding, I don't think we'd be as far as we are on that project or some other projects that we've done, such as roads. We've spent it there. Water, we've spent over 300,000. And on MIN it helped us get up our asset management program. So this is something that we should continue to push the government to keep the doubling of beyond the end of this year.
So you support this?
I do.
Okay. Well, the need has not decreased. As a matter of fact, it's probably gotten bigger.
And I think that the government is decreasing the amount of other funding that they're providing as well. So,
Okay. Any other comments from council? Keep the pressure on. Resolution, please.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drouillard, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives and supports the resolution from the Municipal Finance Officers Association. Letter to the Ministry of Infrastructure requesting that the doubling of the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund be made permanent, and that a copy of this resolution be sent to Rob Flack, MPP, Andrew Lawton, MP, Todd McCarthy, Acting Minister of Infrastructure, and the MFOA. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay. Thank you. Item D, a letter of support, Tiny Tots Cooperative Nursery School Incorporated. I think that's all they're looking for is moral support at this time. Any comments from council? Seeing none. Resolution, please.
Moved by Drouillard, seconded by Dryfout, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the correspondence from Tiny Tots Cooperative Nursery School, Inc., and that council directs staff to write a letter of support. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay. On to the consent agenda. I'll kind of split it up here. The first two is Western Lake Erie Regional Conservation Authority update. Any comments on that? And they're just trying to keep us in the loop on that. And the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus newsletter. Okay. There are no committee reports. And the staff monthly reports. Anyone wish to speak to any one of those reports? Yeah, Councillor Drew.
Just through you, Mayor, hence I guess we haven't heard anything if the relationship with Aqua is going well. I haven't heard anything at all. So I'm just wondering if at some point we could just have a general report. I think that was the intent of council to give it a year or so to see how things are rolling along. So it may be time just to have a look at it. So.
I believe Tony and you've had conversations on that.
through the mayor and the council, that's actually Tony and Jody have met with Aqua once, I know. Yeah, I was not involved in the meeting.
Okay. So that'll be in the minutes. When Tony's back, I'm sure he'll bring us up to speed on that. Any further comments on the staff monthly reports? Seeing none. Resolution, please.
Moved by Dryfout, seconded by Loveland, that the items on the consent agenda be approved. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay. And I guess it's your turn, Randy. We have the clerk's report, the 2026 holiday closure. It's in front of council, but anything further to add or?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's basically breaks down to the stat holidays that are usually present and then days in lieu of stat holidays. So in lieu of Boxing Day, because that is on the weekend, and in lieu of Remembrance Day, because we remain open. And so the remaining 3 days would be used by staff as vacation days. And then we would be closed from the 24th and reopen on, I believe it's the 4th? Yeah.
That pretty standard for, of course, the guys will be out plowing snow. If it snows.
Mhm.
Okay. Any comments, questions? Resolution, please, Randy.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the clerk titled 2026 Holiday Closure, dated August 12th, 2026 for information, and that council approve the hours of operation for the 2026 holiday season. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, and item B is the municipal election, appointment of Elgin Election Joint Compliance Audit Committee members. Go ahead, Randy.
Through you, your mayor, your worship, Mr. Mayor. This is just kind of our standard operating procedure. Instead of each municipality having its own compliance committee, Elgin County assembles one on behalf of all of the municipalities. I know in speaking with Catherine Thompson that they haven't had to assemble for the last 2 elections, so we've been lucky to not have any issues there. So we've already approved the committee and now we're just approving the appointment of members to that committee.
Okay. Questions? Pretty straightforward. Resolution, please.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that the County of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the clerk titled 2026 Municipal Election, appointment of Elgin Election Joint Compliance Audit Committee members, and that council endorses the appointment of Christine Scrimger, Andrew Wright, Marty Gobin, Ophelia Chang, and Chantel Terrian to sit on the Elgin Election Joint Compliance Audit Committee for the 2026 to 2030 term, and that a bylaw be adopted confirming these appointments. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, thank you. On to the treasurer report. We have the 2026 Q2 variance report. Council has seen that, but we have James here. Do you wish to speak further to it, James?
Through the mayor and to council, thank you. So this is the Q2 variance report. Thank you also to our acting deputy treasurer for help on this report this time with it. So the operating budget continues to trend in the right direction, much as Q1 did. Significant expenses have been incurred under the municipal brushing and trimming, which is due to our contracted services being heavily used. Public Works have encountered a larger than usual number of trees that have either had to be trimmed significantly or taken down so far in 2026. And a lot of that is due to safety concerns. Staff will continue to monitor the situation and look for cost savings in other areas. The total municipal roads, however, overall, they do continue to come in below budget, so that is encouraging. And the majority of departments, they do continue the trend from Q1 of operating within the quarterly budget expectations. And we're looking at the municipal cashback reserves on Appendix D. We can see that it has grown exponentially since the beginning of 2026. As a result of decisions made in the 2026 budget process, they have increased by 345% and will continue to grow as staff follows the process of transferring those quarterly amounts to the reserve bank account. Also staying with Appendix D, the municipal debt load has also been reduced significantly. This is due to the decision of council to make a concerted effort to tackle the debt of the municipality by earmarking $96,000 in the 2026 operating budget for extra debt repayment, which is on top of the regular monthly principal and interest payments. Staff have so far directed $48,000 towards the principal portion of eligible loans, and this has resulted in one of the loans being paid out 9 years in advance. Staff will continue with the process of administering the funds to the principal portion of these eligible loans throughout the remainder of the year. Our 2026 capital projects are also progressing as we enter the dog days of summer. With the exception of the pool resurfacing, projects are trending in the direction of coming in at close to or under approved budgets.
Okay.
That's about all I had for that. So if there's any questions.
Thank you. Excellent report. And please pass on our appreciation to all departments for doing their part. I think it was an excellent job of budgeting, number one. And tough decisions had to be made, and they were made, and they're being followed through on. So I invite any other comments from council. Councilor Dreyfus.
Couple of comments through your mayor hands. I think we have to commend staff for the conscious awareness of trying to find every place to save money where they can. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job of that. I think there's a real awareness that there's an effort to get things under control. So got to commend all of staff and the roads department and everywhere for the job that they're doing. And the other thing I'd like to make comment to is the development charge fund is growing. And I think that's I know Councillor Pemberton and myself and other members of council, we're keen on the introduction of development charges. They have benefits and negatives and positives, but this is definitely helping our situation with our wastewater and everything else that's going on. So I think we're headed in the right direction. We're building our cash, our reserves, and I think council needs to be commended on taking this steps.
And I just hope we don't lose that momentum. Because for the first time in a long time, I feel good about our financial situation. I mean, we got issues, but we're on the right path. And we have to see that through. Any other comments? Well done, James. Okay, resolution, please.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Drouillard, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the Treasurer titled 2026 Q2 Variance Report dated August 12, 2026 for information. All in favor? That's carried.
And while you're still here, James, the Infrastructure Ontario Borrowing Bylaw. I'll let you just speak to that briefly, and I think everybody understands it, but go ahead.
Through the mayor and to council, thank you. So staff have been in contact with Infrastructure Ontario regarding the borrowing of funds for the municipal share of the wastewater treatment facility capacity and pumping station 1 upgrades. The attached bylaw from IO is required as part of the municipality's loan application process for our share of that health and safety water stream grant, which was awarded back in January of this year. The application is currently in the underwriting process. Once all documentation is provided by staff, Infrastructure Ontario will let us know if the application is successful. Currently, the Infrastructure Ontario lending rate is favorable as it is just above the current prime rate of 4.45%. Administration will also continue to explore lending options with financial institutions as well, just in case we are not successful with Infrastructure Ontario.
I couldn't see it in here. What would be the length of the term of that loan?
They've told me it'd be 20 years.
20 years? Okay. Any further questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, James.
Moved by Drouillard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the Treasurer titled Infrastructure Ontario Borrowing Bylaw dated August 12, 2026 for information, and that Council adopt the Infrastructure Ontario Borrowing Bylaw, which will be submitted to Infrastructure Ontario as part of the loan application for the municipal share of the Health and Safety Water Stream Grant. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, we have a bridge and culvert inspection and an assessment report findings from Jody Scott. He's not with us, but the report is in front of council. Very good report. I mean, not good that it's going to cost us money, but I mean, it's very thorough. And that's the kind of thing, I drive over that culvert on Lakeview line quite often, and you got to get out and you got to crawl through these things. It's the only way to do it, which has been done. So James, can you speak to how do we handle the money part of this? We're going to deal with the 2027 budget, and you're probably going to start that fairly soon. So I would assume that we're gonna start to deal with these issues in the next year's budget.
Through the mayor and to council, yes. So this is one thing that should go on the 2027 capital budget list. Whether we can use some of our gas tax money for it or some of the OSIF money, we will look at funding it through those means, at least partially or possibly fully. So yes, and also to your comment about the 2027 budget, that will begin shortly. We're just getting some things in place right now, so we'll start meeting very soon in the next month or so.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Loveland.
Just a quick comment. We used to always get a copy of that engineer's report just for our own. Was to sleep at night if we need something to read, I think, but it's nice as a council to see that and know what we're really up against. So I wouldn't mind if that got sent to all of us.
We'll put that in the minutes and get it in front of Jody. Okay, anything further on that? Resolution, please, Randy.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich receives the report of the Senior Manager of Infrastructure and Development titled Bridge and Culvert Inspection and Assessment Report Findings dated August 12th, 2026 for information, and that Council direct administration to consider the outstanding bridge and culvert repair rehabilitation recommendations identified in the 2024 OSIM report, including the immediate repair requirements for culvert number 21, Lakeview West Road, which during future capital budget and assessment management planning decisions, or sorry, discussions. All in favor? That's carried.
Thank you, James. On to Fort unfinished business, and I believe Deputy Mayor Loveland, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I just want to do a quick verbal update of the arena board meeting we had this morning. The application for has gone into the province to complete that project. Not expecting to hear anything this year, always spring. Ice is working on starting the ice go in September 1st, be probably ready for the first skate by September 14th. New boards are all been put in. The other information that we have asked for and I finally got from West Elgin is they have allocated $36,000 interest on the Craft Hockeyville money and the money that West Elgin has donated for the years of 2023, 24, and 25. So there'll be some more interest earned in 2026 as well. So we've been kind of haven't saw that money, so we've been asking where it was. So we finally have come up with that. So I think that's about all I had to report. Just wanted, I know there's been some questions asked about that as well from the general public.
So that money was just invested. And
It was invested, with my understanding, it was invested with some other money through West Elgin. It wasn't earmarked especially for the arena, but it was always the intention that it would be divided. I think it didn't happen because there's some staff changes there and it got kind of fall through the cracks, but they've gone back through and looked it up and calculated it, so.
West Elgin does have a new treasurer who I met last night, so that's good news. And I'm sure she's reached out to you already, James.
We've had a couple of discussions.
Good. Well, we help our neighbors. Any new business? Any announcements? Go ahead, Councillor Pemberton.
Yeah, I just, as most of you guys are aware, Southwold declared a state of emergency last Friday for flooding. And I just really want to say thanks to Dutton Dunwich and their Public Works Department. Before we'd even declared, they had already called and offered assistance and wanted to know if there was anything they could do to help. So I just want to say thank you to them and thank you to the staff for all the help that they gave.
That's what good neighbors do, and they do the same for us. So yeah, that was great. And how are things in Fingal?
Forget that.
You guys have been hitting the news. Okay, on to proposed bylaws. We have 2026-36 amendment to delegation of authority.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that bylaw 2026-36 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-09, delegation of administrative authority, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. All in favor? Carried. That is carried.
Thank you. We have bylaw 2026-37, appoint joint compliance audit committee members.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that bylaw 2026-37 being a bylaw to appoint members to the Joint Compliance Audit Committee for the 2026 election be read a first, second, and third time and passed. All in favor? That's carried.
And we have one more, OILC financing.
Moved by Droulard, seconded by Dreyfus, that bylaw 2026-38 being a bylaw to authorize the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure Land Corporation be read a first, second, and third time and passed. All in favor? And that's carried.
Okay, thank you. And we're on to close, so we'll have a resolution to move in close, and then we'll take a couple minutes.
Moved by Dreyfus, seconded by Loveland, that the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich now moves into a closed session of the meeting that shall be closed to the public at 4:51 p.m. in accordance with Section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act for discussion of the following matters: personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal employees, employee evaluation. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, you need a minute or two to
Yep.
lock her down.
Moved by Loveland, seconded by Pemberton, that council returns to open session at 5:05 p.m. All in favor? That's carried.
Okay, approve the previous minute, so on to confirm proceedings.
Moved by Pemberton, seconded by Droulard, that bylaw 2026-39 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Municipal Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich be read a first, second, and third time and passed. All in favor? That's carried.
So the next meetings are in front of you, and we'll wrap it up.
Moved by Droulard, seconded by Dreyfus, that the meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Dutton Dunwich closes at 5:05 p.m. All in favor? And that's carried.